Sunrise, Dasha Jane, Tohik Lini Nishne, Kiwa Bashishchin. I'm Shawna Shandiin Sunrise. I'm Danette and Santo Domingo Pueblo, and I am your instructor for the next 2 weeks. I know 3 of you already very well. One of you I don't. I'll be telling a little bit about the history as we go along, and telling you stories that I learned while learning how to do this, and they'll just kind of pop out. There's no structure or anything. This type of weaving, again, I was taught by my mom, Heddle Sunrise, and this is my disclaimer. This is what we do in our family. So there's other belt weavers out there that do their own way of doing things, but this is the way I was taught, and this is the way we do it. So there's no right or wrong. I know a lot of people are like, oh, well, this other person said, this artist, you know how it is in the artist world. So this is just what I'm showing you and teaching you is what I learned from my mother, and she learned from her mother, etc., and passing it down. I am a 5th generation weaver. I grew up here in the great Albuquerque, New Mexico. We're in my room studio. I got big old tables squished in here, and it's been really hot here in New Mexico, right, Santana? It's been so crazy hot, but last night it rained. It rained so good. It rained for like a couple hours, and we have been in a drought, and you know, everybody that is from here was outside running. You know, I was at Walmart when it hit, and the big thunder. And in Navajo, the way I was taught was you always stretch, you know, so your the insides of your spine, and with the, you know, with the lightning. So me and my mom were at Walmart stretching, and then we came outside, and you can tell the people that are New Mexicans that love rain were all just standing outside of their car, like, thank God. And all the people that weren't were hiding from the rain. So we're all thankful. So it's such a great morning. Everything is alive. The plants are all happy outside, you know. It reminded me of that movie Australia, if you've ever seen it. You know, when they go through their monsoon starts, everyone's like, everything comes back alive. Basically, that's what it is here in New Mexico right now. And hopefully we get more rain today. And that, you know, it's just kind of ironic because with what we're doing today in the belt, in Navajo, it means sis lachi, which is like red belt. Lachi, sis is belt, lachi is red. And, you know, like the part of the fringe that hangs down. Let me show you an old one. I have 2 cameras set up. So you'll see this one right here, which is going to be the main camera, but then I'll have another camera. But here's an old one that my mother made. So you see that going down, and that's like the rain, as they say, the female rain. So it's kind of ironic. It was totally poured, and today we're doing this. So, and again, I'll be talking a little bit more about just the basic stuff, but also just a little stories here and there. This is the rainbow, the green part, they say. Of course, the red, the cheat. So, and Blossom knows a lot about that too. She's another one in our class. But before we get started, I want everyone to go around, if you can turn on your camera, and introduce yourself to us. As we're going to do this class this week and next week. So today we're going to try to get through and do a full warp of, see this piece right here. This is the size that we're going to be working on. So I want us to do a quick, you know, sample piece, and hopefully you have time to weave during the week, and try to get through this at least halfway, and then we're going to start on design. So then you'll probably be able to warp another one, a larger one, if you want, because I'm sure you have enough materials that were sent to you to do at least two pieces. So there's a lot to cover, but don't get frustrated. And something that Shema, my mom always said was, you know, when you start feeling like, oh, walk away, you know, put it down, stretch. That's another thing, is make sure you stretch, because a lot of this is tension. You're going to be winding, and you're going to be using muscles that you've never used before, ironically. For those of you that are a little bit more athletic out there, you know, there's going to be parts in your arms when you're, you know, and your hands are going to get tired holding this and doing this, but it's all a part about the learning of this process. Again, you know, all of those things will happen. So make sure you stretch. I stretched right before this class. I do like morning yoga, etc. And I try to at least stretch the top of my back and my arms, so I'm ready to maneuver around as we're warping. Again, this is going to be the little piece that we're going to do. And this is just a basic design. And then we're going to do the raised design. Hopefully we get to that, which is like, which is what you see on most sash belts, which is this. See how that, I don't know if you can see it close enough, but those of you who have them, they're raised ones. And then I also have my my Pueblo side belt. And you can see that one a little bit more, the raised. See how it's like raised? And that's a little bit more in advance. But we can do it, as you can see. So is that camera work for everybody to see the close-ups? Cool.
I'm not seeing the close-ups.
Excuse me?
I'm not seeing the close-ups, what you're showing.
It's right here. Can you see it now? Hello, Mary, can you see it?
I don't.
Yeah. Give me the thumbs up. Sorry, that second, where it says Shandiin, juror number 11, I'm an actor. I was in a play, and that was my my other persona. I played a juror in this play called, was it 12 Angry Indians? It was kind of about, it was kind of funny, but it was about a play festival that was happening for Yale, and we had to put our names on there, but I'll leave this right here. But the play was about, ironically, about pretendians. So, and they were jurying them in the future. Anyway, okay, so let's go around really quick. And everyone, if you can, please, I want to see your faces, see who you are, and introduce yourself to the masses here. Hey, Blossom. And just give us a little background. If you wove before, if you haven't, that's fine. You know, what kind of artist you are, just so I can know where you're at. Go for it. Who wants to go first? I'll pick Santana, and then you pass it on to somebody else. Turn your mics on.
Morning, everyone. My name is Santana. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
My name is Santana. I'm Acoma in San Carlos Apache, and I have zero weaving experience. Oh, wait. I have done some round reed basket weaving. So that I don't know how to do belts, but I know how to wear them. The only person I heard you say was Blossom, so Blossom. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Blossom. I'm at Black Mesa, Arizona right now, and I've only done weaving like as a kid. Like you just wrap it around the box in Navajo class, and then you learn to weave. That is like the only time I've like weaved in my life. So I'm excited for this class so I can learn how to weave a sash belt. I don't have my loom yet, but I have the supply, so I'll just be like focused on, I guess, the process, and then rewatch the video when the loom comes.
Also, you guys,
I'll pass to Kalia. Is it Kayla?
Hi everybody, my name's Kayla Akina. I'm joining from Kalamazoo, Michigan. lived here for a couple years now, originally from Idaho. I'm Navajo and have Hawaiian and English background. And I don't have any weaving experience or really kind of any other like really artistic things. So I'm really looking forward to this class and just learning with y'all.
Yay. And she's my relative. Yay. Her mom is my first cousin. So I guess I'm your auntie. Yay. Thank you for coming. Okay, pass it on.
And Mary.
Next person. Mary?
Sorry, I'm having a hard time. I've never used this Fire HD to get the volume and just pressing buttons here. So I finally found it. I'm new to weaving. I haven't done no looming weaving before. I'm a
Okay.
Snipes and Okanagan band member from the Colville Confederated Tribes in Washington. I've tried a round yarn basket, but I don't know how to do patterns or change colors or anything. So I'm excited to do this. I do beading too.
Yay. Okay, great. So it's gonna get confusing, but don't be, you can also, I'll put my email in the chat. If you want to ask me questions like offsite, you can message me. If you're like Blossom said, she's gonna be, she doesn't have her loom, but she has the other materials. So you're going to be warping on your own, right? Off, not today. So if that's the case, okay, I just put my email in the chat. So if you need to let me know. So just a quick, I can see, okay, you have yours. Who has your, I know Santana has you have yours because I gave it to you, your loom. So everyone, this is what the loom looks like. Blossom. Was it hard to put it together, Kayla?
No, I was just gonna ask though, should I tighten all of the screws? Like is I mean kind of I've screwed them in and it's kind of like put together, but if all of the screws aren't like flush within.
Yeah, to tighten it a little bit more. So go ahead and do that now. Blossom, when you put yours together, it's going to be like a kit. So there's like these 4 pieces of wood. And was it hard to understand how to put it together? No? No? Okay. Yeah, I put a little sheet in there, and the person that made it is a really good friend of mine. He's an amazing woodworker. He does retableaus, which are these frames. He's just an awesome woodworker. And I got him to make these. He got paid, but him and I went shopping for the wood last Sunday, and he I'm pretty sure he sanded them because he's that way. He's so cool. So these are yours forever, and so you're gonna, once you have these, that means you have to leave forever. I was kidding. You can't just hang it up after the class. So that's what they say. So I'm going to go through the different tools that we're going to be using. So I am half Dinan, half Kiwa, Santo Domingo, Pueblo. But a lot of what I know is from my Diné side. But I know that in this other loom here, let me go back gallery. Okay, so this is a Pueblo example of a belt. It looks, the coloring is different. It's black, green, and red, and the 2 main colors are in the middle, which would be red and black, and for the Navajo one is white and red. So ironically, they're similar, but it's just the black and the white, which is interesting. I don't know why that's like that, but my auntie said that, this is what you call in Ireland and in Karis is utscha, which is, that's what they call this belt in Pueblo language. The looms that I have, my father made for me and all my tools. My father, who was the late Bill Sunrise, he made all these looms for my mother and I, and he also made tools for us. And there, you can use, what we're going to use for this, since it's a small piece, is these. I don't know if he told you about this. It's kind of like a heavy ruler type thing, and this will be our batten. But the battens normally look, this is a, this is a belt batten. This is the one that, I don't know if you can see it, my dad made. Kind of looks like a club. See how it has like, it's like right here. Let me put it under here. See, it's my dad made this for me because I started weaving belts. See how it's like thinner on this end, and then you go through and it thickens, and this is the part you weave with. I have a couple of these. Hold on. Got weaving tools all over my room, and and this is another type of a batten, and you can use this if you have access to this. This is a one for an upright loom, but we can also use it for this. And if you're interested in getting some of these, let me know, because I have a couple of friends. If you really like weaving and you want to move forward, you can get one of these. I don't know if anybody makes these anymore anywhere, but I'm trying to get my nephew to do it because he knows, he helped my dad make these. And these are, a lot of people will look for these and see how the point is on this one. And then there's this other one, so you have two of them. And they look like paddles or clubs, but I was blessed to have my dad make these for me. So this is a batten, but this is what we're gonna use, is this a ruler. And the reason why I did this is and stuff like chopsticks, is you can weave with anything, anywhere, anytime, if you want to. You can make, I made looms when I was in Chicago. I went to the Art Institute. I went to IIA and the School of the Art Institute in Chicago, and I made a whole loom out of a garment rack, and I did a project on it. So, you can use anything. Some people have to, it's not like REI, you have to have the right gear to do it. You can do anything if you really want to. And then here's another tools, some more tools that I have. These are some more battens. Again, if you're really, really, really interested in going on further, I can point you to a couple of people I know, a couple guys I know out on the res that make tools, and they do sell them at the flea market local. But if you need, like those of you that are far away, Kayla and Mary, if you want to order them, I can direct you or get their information so you can get a batten from them. And that's all you really need, because the rest of it is like dowels. For those of you who got their full kit, did you guys get your dowels? Did you get dowels? Yeah, okay, cool, perfect. See, mine's like a giant. I had to go through my garage to get this one. We got a jillion dowels in our house. I never knew a dowel until I was born, and I knew what dowel was. But let's see what else. And again, our trusty chopstick. And this is, we're going to use this for like designs or wrapping like thread on it when you're weaving back and forth. This will be your shuttle in weaving terms. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the different types of using this other. I'm going to switch to this other, and I'm going to go off camera, but pull my phone down this way. But I'm just going to show you on this one loom what we're going to start on, and the difference between a weft and the two stick sheds. There's a stick shed and there's a Heddle Shed, and this is a warp face weaving. That means whatever colors you set up on the warp, you're just gonna weave it. It's not like an upright where you can put the warp and then you add all the colors in between. So this way your colors get woven right away, and you manipulate the different sheds to bring out color and design. Okay, has everyone got that? So I'm gonna move over for a second, turn off my camera and repost this. If I can pull it down. Okay, can everybody hear me pretty good still? Okay. So this is one of my looms. It's a pretty big loom. This one is probably 6 feet, 5 feet. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4 feet. And it's a little bit longer than the ones you guys got. Now this one's 4 feet by like 1.5. So, and I have a couple of these. Actually, we have about 4 of them that we use when we teach locally. So, but we're gonna go out, jump right in, and I'm just gonna talk about the levels of it. And just to start off, I don't know if you noticed what I just did. Let me put this other camera. Is let's see if you can see.
Anything.
What's up?
Okay. I
Yeah,
couldn't.
I gotta take the blurry off the back. This is not letting me do it. Good old Zoom world, right? There you go. All right, can you see it? Is that a pretty good view? So we got 2 different views going on here. Yeah. Okay, so you got 2 different views. We have this side and then the close-up, which is right here. Okay, so this is what we call right here is the stick shed. Obviously, it's a big thick stick. So you're gonna, this is like one of your dowels. And when we get it all set up, this will be your stick shed. And this right here is called the Heddle Shed. And so when you push, when you get to weaving, when you're trying to get into each shed, you always push like the stick shed away, and then you strum this and see how that opens up this new shed. So you're gonna get one. So when you're weaving, you're gonna have to use, your body to hold down your loom and all of that to open up your shed to weave. So those are the only 2 sheds that we're gonna be working in. But as we go into design, see, look, I don't know if you can see that part. See how it's separating and coming down, and it's bringing down the next thing I'm gonna weave. So it's kind of awesome because, when you're doing this, you can tell if it's not all there or not. And see how with this one, it's a little bit, it's a bigger loom and bigger piece, but you always, like, after you change sheds, you always batten down. And you'll get into this, it'll be like kind of meditative, and when you start weaving, your flow. And then you can also tell if you miss strings. Well, you'll see it right down here on this part. Okay, and so now that I went into this shed, technically I would open this up, and here's my trusty chopstick. And I'm going through here. This is your shuttle. And then I always do is I pull it down, and then because you want the ends to not be floppy. Okay, so that's just the basic of what we're going to achieve when we set up our looms. So we'll come back to this, but I just wanted to show you the basics of what the 2 sheds are, which is the Heddle Shed and the stick shed. And so I finished that one right now, and see how important it is. Okay, I'm pulling this out. Is when you pull this down, I don't know if you can see it in the second loom, I mean, second shot, but see the, and then you have to strum it with your fingers. So you can, I'll take it up a little bit higher to do this. So when you do your heddles, you have to make sure that they're not too tight, because you need to have that open to when you bring these together. See how it already starts, and when you strum it with your fingers like this, it goes into the next shed automatically. And then it's ready for the next thing to weave. So you see I'm going like this, and it's already open, and you push it down. See, and then ta-da. Does everyone get that? Cool. So it's really fun. You when you start, weaving, sometimes I can weave and watch TV. It becomes meditative, it becomes healing. And if you start struggling and around it, again, stop, go outside, stretch, because you don't want to put bad feelings into what you're doing. And my grandmother used to tell me, and my mom, they always used to say, which means like, make it beautiful. While you're creating, think beautiful thoughts, think positive things, because these are the things that you want to put into what you're creating. You want it may be a gift for somebody, you may be making it for somebody or for yourself, but you want to wear it and to promote your good posture. That's what they say the sash belt was done for. It helps to keep your back straight and your mind clear and your focus clear and your head clear. So when you wear a sash belt, it straightens you up. You're not like huddled over. Sometimes I feel like, man, I haven't worn a sash belt in a long time because I'm like all humped over. But when you put those belts on, like Santana knows, the hubble belts same way, is that really it strengthens your back, it tightens you up, it pushes you in a little bit. And they're also, there were the big thicker ones that were made for people, women after they have babies, and they wrap them, and they're real thick ones. We have a couple of them. I remember when my sister had her baby, my mom wrapped my sister with the belt, the thick one, and it helps you bring back your form, re-straighten after you've been through having a baby and everything. So all of these things, and they also use them for birthing. They used to have these sash belts. And also there's a group of people that do it now, and traditionally at home, but they've, throw it over a tree. The women, they didn't go to the hospital, they had these sash belts, and they would hang on to them. That's how strong they were. And they would hang on to them while they were having their babies out at home. So yeah, so then all of these, that it's all about that, balance and that hushalness, which is keep it balanced. So if you see, step away, there's no wrong any of this. We're all learning here. Everyone's learning, even me, every day. So don't be hard on yourself as you go through this process. Once you get your warp up and you start weaving, you'll see that it just goes really quickly. And see, this part right here is the raised area that I was talking about. It's like the hidden design, and then you do a design within that. So that's kind of like that. But see how fine this is. And these ones that are older were actually wool that are respun. So these are really tiny. And we don't have time to respin our strings, but maybe in some other class or some other time. When I do my pieces to give or sell or whatever, I always respin all of my, even if they're synthetic yarns, I respin them for that purpose. And then I wet them and then stretch them out and let them dry so they take a new form. So so these older ones, they've been respun. That's why they're so tiny. Can you imagine that? Like respinning all of this is amazing. Not that it was 100 years ago, but and same with the other belts. You'll see a lot of belt artists that are like public artists, and some of them, see how these are thicker compared to this, the yarns. So some of these people respin them, some people don't, they just use them straight out of the box. But what respinning does help to, with your warp strings not breaking. So that's just a part of all of this initiation into being a spider woman. Yeah, so again, think good thoughts, and also see how this was right here and I left this. We were at the I'm on the committee for Miss Indian World for the Gathering Nations, and there was a girl that was doing a demonstration of weaving, and she left her batten in the thing and started talking, and me and my mom were like, oh, because they say you're not supposed to leave your batten after you finish weaving that piece. You're always supposed to take it out because you don't want to leave it open for things to come into it. Bad thoughts, bad things, it's just one of those things. But being, that's just a Navajo Point's perspective. Those of you from other tribes, and if you don't want to follow that, that's fine. I mean, just it's a good idea to take it out because it also, wears on your warp strings. Okay, so I'm gonna shift really quick, and I'm gonna show you a Pueblo belt like this, and then we're gonna start with our warping. How's everybody doing? Everyone okay? Give me a. I can't see the thing, so you're gonna have to give me a yes in a voice so I can hear you. Everyone good? Let me know when people need a break. We'll probably take a half-point break.
Okay, sounds good.
Everyone good? Mary, are you good? Yes. Okay. I have to maneuver stuff from the hallway into my room. So I'm dragging
I'm
out.
sorry, I'm good, but it takes me a while to figure out where to punch down here because I can't see the volume mute unmute button on this versus my computer, but I'm here. I'm unable to find it while you're asking questions.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But yeah, I'm here.
Okay. All right. So this is the other loom. Can you see this? And I'm sliding it in. And these are pretty big looms. This one's a little bit bigger. This one, yes. 1, 2, 3. It's the same, it's like 4.5, but the width is a little bit more you guys' level. Yeah, it's about the same width as you all's, but this is the other my other side of weaving. So I have this, and Santana came by my house the day before yesterday to pick up her loom from me. And I wish I showed this to you in person because I had it right inside the door, but I'm battling a cold. It's not COVID. It's just one of those summer whacked up colds, but I'm okay. I'm just soldiering through. Again, so if you can see this one, it has the same kind of setup. It has the black versus the white background. As we're going along, if you do break any of your, they get worn down, it's okay, because I can show you how to repair them. There's never like, oh God, it's falling apart. No, there's always a way to fix it. So the main point is when you're warping is where you need to make sure that you set it up properly from the beginning. That way, that it's set up right. Okay, so again, here's Heddle Shed, and here's my stick shed, and I've tied it right here. I don't know if you guys can see this, because as you're working, each time after you weave, what I do is I put a string through this right here, and I tie it, because you you don't want to lose the shed because you're going to have to re-pick in between each one like you do when you're setting it up again. So the good thing is just, you know, this is like a safety net of your heddles for your stick shed, especially. The heddle one will already be, you know, bound to it. So the heddle one it can't move. But the stick shed, you know, it can slide out. Like that's happened to me a jillion times where I'm transporting it into the other room and my stick shed falls out. And I'm like, ah, because then I have to go back through and, you know, you have to pick between each one to get back the next shed because, you know, they're going back and forth. So that's just some little safety thing, safeguard thing. Again, here, as you can see, let me show you this on this one. I didn't show you on the other one. But if you can see this big gigantic stick right here, that is going to be your warp, kind of like it's a stabilizer, but it's a stick that you're going to wrap around as you're warping. And this will always be, it's kind of like the center of it all. So if you feel like your strings are crossing, you can go back to this stick right here, which is the wrap stick. And this is when you're warping, you're going to wrap around this stick and you're going to move it along as you're, see, this one's almost at the end. See, I'm close to finishing this piece. See, it's almost at the end. See where the warp strings are? That's the end. So what I've been doing is you're gonna move it up as you go along. So I think so you're gonna twist it and like do this kind of a thing, and it moves up. But I think this is as far as it can go because I'm at the end. But this part will be there to just stabilize, and that's your wrap stick. So that's one of your other dowels that you're gonna use today. Hopefully we can get to this part, but let's see. And I'll flip this over to show you how far this piece is. Let's see. And luckily you guys got shorter sticks, so you don't worry about it. All right, so this is the back side of my, you guys see that? So let me turn it this way. So this is, see my design right here? That's a raised design. And then there's just like the basic, which is called the beaded one, which is the basic belt back and forth. Let me push it forward like that. And then the raised one right here. So that this is the more advanced. But what we're trying to do is just get through this, and then, you know, maybe next week we'll get to this because this is more advanced, and then to the design. So this is the possibilities of what you can do. So I'm going to take this one off. And now we're going to start with the warp. Does anybody need a break? Or are we good? Everyone good? Give me the high sign.
I'm good.
Everyone good? Okay. All right. So get your loom out. And what is your yarn look like before we start? Okay, so let's go ahead. Can you guys have you ever found the inside of a yarn ball and not the outside? Where you reach inside on one of the ends, and because what we're going to do is ball up some yarn. Ball up like maybe half of the skein, so it'd be easier for you to work with. So mine are like this. So let's see, where's the camera? See, I balled up these. So we're gonna ball up all the colors. So find the inside of each one. And does everybody know how to ball up yarn, or do you need help with that?
I need help with that.
Okay. No worries. Okay, let me finish. I'm gonna take this one off. I have to, my little thing came online. So you're gonna always get like stuff unwinding, stuff falling around, just a part of the whole deal. Don't worry, you're not doing anything wrong. It's just, it's a part of weaving. Sorry. Okay, so for balling up, okay, so balling up. All right, so this is the top one. Can you guys see this? Okay, this is the top thread. This is the top that on the outside. All right, this is the inside. So you want to find the inside of this, like this. There. And see how it easily comes out from the inside? You don't want to go to the top because it gets all kind of crazy. All right, so for our purposes, there's two ways to do these. There's two ways to do this. Is we do what is called a butterfly. So I'm trying to get on both cameras. So you do two fingers like a figure eight. So you have your hand like this, and you have the tail sticking out. Okay. So these two fingers right here. And then you're gonna go like this, like a figure eight. Can everybody see that? I'll start again. So tail down, hanging out here. That's the one you're going to pull from. So the figure, this which we call butterfly, is it helps you pull from within. So as you see, sometimes you see novel weavers, they have those like little butterflies hanging off their looms. That's what they do. Because that way you don't coming from the outside, you're coming from the inside to weave, and you can still have them like that. So they're like two fingers, and it's a figure eight around those two fingers. So you're going like this. See. So I'm just using my pointer finger and my middle finger, or whatever fingers you can use. Some of us are special with other fingers. This is Antenna laughing. So if at any point, if you have any questions, stop me. Okay, so I'm pretty fast, so I can do this and watch TV. I could do this and do anything, because when we were growing up, they would always hand us these, and they're like, here, can you do this? And then we have to sit there like watching cartoons or whatever, and we'd be balling these up. So, and you're going to get to a point where it's going to be too much on your fingers, right? So like, oh, I don't have any more finger room to continue. So what you're going to do is you're going to pull this off like this, and see the tail is still hanging out right here, right? And then you're going to look at it and like, oh, well, it could be like a CA, which is our hair bun. And you wrap it this way. See? And then you still have that ability to pull from the inside. So you just wrap this one. How's everybody doing? Good? Blossom, Mary? again, this is being recorded, so if you need to go back to it, so with your purpose today, for each color, excuse me, try to do like at least half of this. I guess we should have done this ahead of time, but this is what we're doing. So just take some time and just relax and wrap your, my table over. Oops. There's some light. All right, so again, you're coming from the inside and I'm wrapping it. And now this is getting all thick. Now it's looking like a tamale. And the funny thing about tamales is out here in New Mexico, you know, everyone assumes just because you're from New Mexico, you know what all the different foods that different communities eat. My mom told me the story when she was growing up, that when she met my dad and my dad took her back to his village at Santo Domingo, that she went in to meet the family and the sisters were all eyeing my mom up and down. And they're like, who's this woman? My mom was like totally beautiful, of course, and you know, Miss Navajo and everything like that. And they're all looking at her. They're all grinding corn for tamales with the hand grinder, you know, connected to the table. And they look over and my dad's, oh, these are my sisters, whatever. And then they look at my mom and they said, if you want tamales, you have to grind your own corn. Welcome to the family. And my mom was like, just the same thing. My dad's like, oh, say that, you know, said something to him in Indian. And then when my mom and dad were coming back, this is before they were married, they were coming back to Albuquerque. My dad was bringing my mom back to her dorm or wherever she was staying. And she, as soon as they got out of the village and they got on the freeway, my mom said to my dad, what's a tamale? He didn't even know what a tamale was. So that's what I'm half and half of. Indian love. Okay. So so then now you're getting to this point where it's like kind of like looking a little bit oblongy. And as you build it in the middle, then you're going to switch over and go this way. So, you know, that way it's, so then you just kind of switch over. Again, your tail is still sticking out because that's the one you're going to pull from. So now I'm going back this way. And when we were growing up, it was our thing to, between me and my sisters, is to be able to wrap the perfect ball the way it'll look kind of like a football, like a mini football. And we would just, I mean, this is like, you know, when you're learning, like, remember Karate Kid, wax on, wax off. These are the things that you learn along the way, how to do this. Like my sisters can wrap a ball like quick. I think Beulah and Debbie's are a little bit faster than I am, but and then not to get it tangled. Also, our grandma used to, you know, when you're a little kid and you're like, I'm bored, I don't have anything to do, like that. And they would hand us these like matted pieces of yarn and they'd be like, okay, untangle that. So you learn patience, you learn all these things through what you're doing with yarn. And again, see how this got kind of oblongy, and now I'm going to go back the other way. But remember to keep your little tail sticking out. Because it's all going to come from the inside. So that as you're warping. So when you get a ball of your yarn that looks about this size, maybe we should go a little bit bigger. How far is everybody with their yarn? That's a good size right there. Maybe a little, are you halfway of your skein? Go a little bit more and then you can stop and then start with the other one. Sorry, Santana didn't get her materials. Yeah. You could just go like this with your arms and pretend. But she lives close, so I can show her. Just come over. Yeah, she came by and I was wearing a super mask because I'm like, I mean, I have a summer cold, but I don't have COVID. You know how we're all tripping. I've been put out in the sun so you wouldn't get, but you do have your awesome loom, which I'm so jealous of. My friend, his name is Vicente TS. He has actually a show that just opened up at the Albuquerque Museum here. He's a Chicano artist. He's amazing, and he just became a really good friend of mine. And he took the time out to make these looms for us, and I'm so gracious and happy that he did, because you guys are scoring, and I'm like, man, I want one too. Because mine, as you'll see in a minute, let me pull out my loom. Is this like, it's all beat up. He actually repaired it for me. See the corners, but mine is super rugged. And I've used it for warping, for making everything. I think right here you can see there's like things on it. See right here. I did beadwork, loom beadwork on it. But see, he added these corners, and that's another thing, is he glued these on, these corners, for stability for my loom, and now it's super good. So in the future, if you feel like your loom is getting wonky, if you know of a wood person around you to make these little corners and glue that, they're like with the wood glue. They do have to sit for a while, but this thing is so sturdy, because what you'll find, no matter how strong your loom is, the corners start wearing and tearing because you have so much tension on them. And we're going to be warping all the way around these looms. So just an FYI on that. So as you're getting finished with your ball, again, your tail's sticking out right here. See how mine's starting to get like that. You can go for the round shape, or you can go for the football shape, or whatever you want to do. But just making sure that, you know, when you're doing this, it doesn't tangle, because you don't, in the middle of warping and you get tangles, it's so frustrating because you have to untangle it. And that's the purpose for doing, taking these out of the, you know, the package and using them. All right, so the ending is kind of tricky. So what I do is put my finger under and I wrap up around and kind of pull tight on my finger, and then go under, and then you just kind of pull it. So you don't need a knot, you just pull it and it'll stay on itself. I'll re-show that again. Okay, so again, when you're wrapping, you're closing your ball and you're finishing this, you go one, and you just kind of make sure you have enough, long enough, and you put your finger right here and then put this under right here. And then you can just pull it, and it should today, you know, just kind of pull it like that and it'll stay on there. And just make sure that, I mean, if you want to do it smaller so you don't get it mixed up with the tail one, that's okay, because then when you're getting to warp, that's what you're going to do with this. But I think these balls right here, I actually did the other way around, but it's okay. This is what we're going to use. This is the twine. You should have gotten in your package twine, and that's going to be used for your heddles and any other tie down stuff you're going to need to do. So as you're working, yeah. So let's see. All your dowels are all one size, right? Is that how they ended up being? Are they different sizes?
I think they're different sizes.
Okay. So the thickest one, keep that one out, because you're going to use that one for your stick shed because it'll be easier. So you're gonna have a warp stick, a wrap stick like I showed you on the other one. And yeah, and the other one will be your heddle stick. So that'll be your wrap stick and the heddle stick. And then the thickest one will be the stick shed. So don't use the stick shed, the thick one for the first one. We'll use that for when we're actually doing the 2 sheds. I don't know if I'll get the sheds today, which is fine, it's all learning. Really get to weaving right away. All right, so how far is everybody balling up their stuff? You got one done. Does everybody have? Let's take if you want to keep, I'm going to go to the bathroom really quick. Let's take a little 5-minute break. It's 12:08. So come back at 12. Oh, it's 9, 12:09. Let's come back at 15 after, and then we'll start the warping. So if you want to just keep balling, do that with your.
Hi, this is Mary.
Hi, Mary.
My yarn is wanting to be intertwined here when I pulled it out from the middle, so it's taking a little longer because it's all tangled up when I'm pulling it. So I'm having to continue and unknot the ball here. So you can go ahead and continue on. It's just,
Okay.
I'm sure I went from the right end, but the inside for some reason is.
All right. We'll put that one down and start on another skein.
Oh, okay. Another color so we can
Yeah.
weave. Perfect.
Yeah. Just keep going.
All right.
And just put that down. Again, when you get to those parts where you're tangled up, put it down, put it aside, and go on to the next thing or you need to do or take a break. So we'll take a break right now for 5 minutes. Is that, or do we need 10 minutes? And just keep, winding your skeins and stuff. And we'll be back at 12:15. I'll check back in with you guys. Cool? Everybody good? Brian, are you there? Brian. All right, it's all good. We'll just do our thing. All right, so I'm just gonna leave this on. But I'm gonna turn off my sound. And I'll leave my camera on too.
Wrong way.
Okay, that was a little bit longer than I thought. Throwing down some food really quick. Everybody there?
Mhm.
What are you doing on your ball, on your winding ball? It's almost done.
I forgot how to do the end.
Okay.
I'm just right here, and then I forgot what I do next.
Okay, I'll do it. See.
And have my end.
Okay, for the end of this, oops. So here you are at the end.
Mhm.
Tail one is over here. You go over your finger like that, and then put it under your finger, and then just pull it tight like that. Not really a knot, it's just kind of.
Oh.
you just put it in yourself.
Oh, okay. So I cut it first.
Huh? Yeah,
Do I cut the? Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me do that real quick.
oh, the weather is so nice. 100-degree weather today. But you never know. New Mexico could change in a minute. Right? Okay. We're back. I don't know what everyone has planned, but if we end up going over a little bit, I hope you don't mind. So we can get it done today. All right. Again, we're doing this little piece right here. And if you want to get a pen and paper out for this part, I'll give you the dimensions on how much of each we're gonna do. Each string. Depending on color. I'm just gonna go, the one I'm doing today is more of a Navajo color. Which is the white, red and green. Santana, are you gonna do the black when you get your materials? Yeah.
Just
Huh?
kidding.
What's that? I didn't hear you.
Black.
I can't hear you. It's either my internet or your internet.
No. You can't. I guess not.
Yeah, it's like it's kind of choppy. Well, if you do our, all you gotta know is that where the white is gonna be the black for coloring. So get out a piece of paper and a pen, and on one side you're gonna write, like if it's a plain piece of paper, draw down one line. And then on the left side of that line, put the number 2. Let me get another piece of paper. I'll do it with you. All right, so the count is going to be, so draw, like, here's your piece of paper, just draw a line down, and you're going to put 2 right here. And then on the other side, you're going to draw another line, and you're going to put 2 over here. So you see that? So that's kind of like the count you're going to have for this first piece, this down piece. So 2, 2, and I can take a picture of this and put it in the, after I finish, and put it in the chat, like a photo on my camera. And send it out. Okay, so for the first one is 2, and that's going to be the border one. So that's right here. How come this is frozen? Uh-oh. There it is. Okay. All right, so this is going to be the border, the white part right here. So that's 2. So you can put a little WH if you want, just so you know where you're at. So I'm putting a WH. See, that's my paper. Okay, and then next you're gonna, on the other side of that line, you're gonna write 3. And then you're gonna write 3 over here on both sides, because you're mirroring what's going on here. So that next one is 3, and it's gonna be red. So you can put R if you want. This is just kind of like a tool that I've done, so you know where you're at. So then you're gonna draw another line right next to the 3 down. So it looks like this. It's backwards, isn't it? There, on this one it's better. So there's, so let me just do this one thing. All right. Okay, and then on the other side of that 3, you're gonna put the number 4. So that's gonna be up here, and that's 4 right here. And that's gonna be green. So you can put a G right there. And again, on the other side, it's gonna be 4 as well. So you're gonna put a G. Okay.
I have a question. If the yarn we have is red, white, and black, which
Where the white is gonna be black.
okay, and then the will be white.
2 white, like, so the first will be 2 black.
Okay,
Put BL. So I'll substitute on the rest of this black for white. So on the first 2, again, see where I put 2, either white or black. And then the next one over is gonna be. Okay, on the white black one, if you want to do it like this, it's the design is a little bit different because it's just green. Wait, let's see. No, it'll be the same. So just continue. Except there's no red in there. It's just, okay, so Mary, on yours, the count's gonna be a little bit different. You're not gonna go to red right away. You're gonna go to green.
Okay, I'm confused on which way then. If I'm sent the red, white, and black, I could go get some green.
I'll do a separate one for yours, okay?
Get some green thread or yarn. Okay,
No, I'm gonna flip this over and do one for yours, which that will be,
did everybody else get red, white, and green?
I think we all have red, black, and white, all of
Oh,
us.
everybody has it, okay.
Will our green just be the black yarn instead of the green?
yeah, okay. All right, so what colors does everyone have? Let me just go check really quick before we go on. Okay,
Red, black, and white.
yeah, okay, so you didn't get a green, huh?
No
No.
green.
Nobody got a green. Ah, that's like the rainbow. That's the main important part. Okay, we're just gonna pretend the green is the black, I guess. Shoot. See, there's. All right, we're just gonna improvise on this. So let me go back. Red, white, green. 1, 2, 3. Okay, okay, so what we're gonna do is everywhere there's green is gonna be black. So Mary, do you have white? Mary?
Hello, this is Violet. My yarn is white, black, and red.
White, black, and red. Okay. So everywhere we're on this piece where I say green is going to be the black. Okay.
Okay.
So Mary, did you get white? Do you have white? I don't want to confuse you because if you, we're just going to stick with the white and the red as the.
Sorry. I couldn't get it to come in for my mic. I have this, everybody out the white, black, and red, but I'm just confused because before you
Yeah,
said
yeah.
to substitute the white for the black.
I thought you guys got green, but he didn't put green in your kit. So
Okay, could you go
we're gonna use,
the 2, 3, 4 then, please?
yeah, so yours is gonna be the same as everybody else. It's gonna be 2 white, 3 red, and then where I said green is gonna be black, okay? So
Okay,
then we'll all be on the same page. So let me just change this on my notes. Sorry, I assumed you guys got green. Okay, so let me go back to the sheet. Okay, so it's gonna be on each end, 2 white, 3 red, 4 black. Has everyone got that? On both sides. So as you can see, this is like this whole thing is like your belt. So we're working from the outsides in. Has everyone got that?
Yep.
Okay, so then you're going to draw another line next to that 4. And then that's gonna be 3 red again. And these, what we're counting is the warps that we're gonna be warping. So I wanna let you know the count ahead of time before we start. And make it easier so you have a guideline. And then if you wanna do this, you can go back to it. All right, so we got 3 red. Everybody's got that? So this is what it looks like mirrored on both sides. Okay, 3 red, and then draw a line again. So it looks like this. Okay. And again, I'm gonna take a picture of this and send it to you so you'll have it as well. And after that, you're gonna start with, you're gonna do intertwine back and forth, white and red, okay? So you're gonna start with the white because you don't want to put red on red, right? All right, let me look at this one. Yeah, you're gonna start with the white and you're gonna do white, you're gonna do 5 white and 4 red in this area, but you're gonna intertwine them. So what I mean is, let me go to the end of this. See how this is back and forth? To get this design, you have to have like 5 red. And then behind that is 4 red. Does everyone understand? So you're going to go intertwine. You're going to do the first one you're going to do after that 3 red, you're going to do a white, and then you're going to do a red, and then you're going to do a white and a red until you finish those 5 white, and then you're going to go back to the 3 red. So we're going to, when we're warping, we're going to start on this end over here, and we're going to go this way. So we're going to go 2 white, 3 red, 4 black, 3 red, and then you're going to start with the white, and then you're going to intertwine white, red, white, red, white, red, white, red, until you get done with the white, the 5 white, and then you're going to go back to 3 red, and then you're going to do 4 black, 3 red, and then 2 white. Does everyone understand that? Yes, yes.
Yes.
Got it? I want everyone to know this before we start, because, and have it written down so you can like look at it. But let me take a picture of this. What I can do with this? I turn it this way. This is backwards, huh, to you guys, right? Does it look backwards? Or does it look, it looks right on?
It looks right.
Okay, I'm gonna take a screenshot of it and then put it in the chat thing. I can do a screenshot. Let me go big. Okay. How to do a screenshot with one hand. Okay. All right, so is everybody ready? I'm gonna turn this off for a second, send you, put it in the chat. The screenshot I just did. Thought I turned it off. See, on mine, it looks backwards. It's weird. Okay, so everyone done with their balls and ready to go? Yes, yes. I wonder if I can flip this. It's weird. My screenshot came out backwards. Close this. Should I flip it? Is that gonna confuse everybody if it's backwards? Or do you kind of understand? I can try to flip it. Let's see.
This is Murray. Did you say we might go over a little bit today?
Yeah,
Do you happen to know how long or when the recordings? I have a memorial about 20 minutes away. I have to drive to. I think I'm an hour behind you guys.
okay. Well, let us know when you're gonna go. We'll just keep recording, I think.
Okay, and then
Um,
I'll get back on the site when I get back.
yeah.
I'm all good with my yarn right now. I've got all 3 colors done.
I'm just trying to flip this really quick. I can do
Hi,
that.
everyone. This is Brian. This is being recorded and will be shared next week on First People's Fund's YouTube channel. So it'll be available to watch.
I was gonna go big. I didn't know it was gonna go big. Let's see. Trying to flip this really quick. Oh, there it is. Yeah, there we are. I got it. Okay, you guys, I'm gonna put this in the chat. This screenshot of the count, so you can have it with you if you didn't write it down. Okie doke, everybody. There it is. Tell me if you get it in the chat. I'm trying to see which one it is. Okay, it's in the chat. So if you need to look at it or save it, I would save it right away. Everyone.
I don't know what happened here. I pressed the wrong button on this. Fire HD. Now I'm split screen. All I can see is my M and device dashboard. If I run to my computer, will I be able to get back in if I sign in there?
Brian, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, she's gonna log out and get on a computer instead.
Okay,
So just,
Okay.
you have to let her back in the room.
yeah, no problem.
Are you gonna do
Thank
that right
you.
now, Mary? We'll wait for you
Yep.
before we
It's
start.
just give me a second. I got that signed.
Okay. All right, so did everyone get that count on the chat? Yeah. Yeah, sign. Okay, I'm gonna turn this one back on. Okay. So now we're gonna get ready to warp as soon as, Mary, are you gonna jump out or what's going on? You're gonna have to turn off one because the sound is gonna get distorted on, once you get into your other one, it's gonna start echoing, which is kind of happened in the past. So everybody, here's your loom and I want it to be the long ways. So yours are 30 by 18. Excuse me. So you're gonna warp the long ways of the 30. The 18 is gonna be the width, the length is gonna be the 30. So position it in front of you as the long, the 18 on the side and the 30 long. Okay? Everybody?
Gotcha.
All right, so since I don't have, I just have green and you guys didn't get the green. I'm everywhere that you see green on here is black for you all, okay? So since we don't have the green color, in your future one, if you want to go out and get yourself some green, if you want to do the enamel colors, you can, but since this is a sample piece, it's okay, you know, that you don't have the green today. But ordinarily where the black is going to be would be green, but it'll be easier for you to see too. So you're going to get your first, is she back in yet?
Oh, just 1 second.
Okay.
Okay, she should be in now.
Okay. So get your dowels together. Don't get the thick one, get the other one. Don't get your thick dowel, get your other dowel. So you have the one thick one and two thin ones. Put the thick one and the other thin one aside, and you're gonna get your one dowel like this, because this is gonna be your wrapping one. I know mine's bigger, but it's okay. As you're gonna do it for you all, since yours isn't that long, you're gonna have to wrap it and just kind of keep it in the upper top of your warp. So I'd say 3 inches from the top. Usually I tie this down so I can keep it steady and warp it, but since you guys have a shorter dowel than the loom, I'll just do with what you're doing too, so I won't tie mine down. Are you there, Mary? Ready?
I'm here. Sorry, I left the other one and it didn't let me out and I had to run to the other room, come here. So I didn't see which dowel you were using. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you don't use the thicker one. Save that.
Not the-
Yeah, you have two thin ones and a thick one. So
I have a big one, a medium and a smaller.
okay, put the big one aside, use the medium.
Okay.
Okay. So everybody else, if you got the same situation, use the medium dowel for this. And this is going to be your wrap stick. Okie doke. All right, so you're gonna hold your wrap stick, and when you wrap this stick in the middle right here, oops, can you not see on this one? Okay, so you have 2 point of views. When you wrap your stick, you're gonna do it to where this is gonna be up, meaning, let me just show you. I'm just gonna do one and I'll go back and I'll just keep going back and forth and repeating. Okay, so you're gonna be going around the whole entire loom. You're not going anywhere inside of the inside. We're warping all the way around the loom. Okay, and so you got your guide right here. You're gonna do 2 white first. So the first one that you're gonna warp is you're gonna tie on to it after it goes through. So here we have the warp, the first warp. I took it off the ball. Make sure there's no there. So this is the end. So what you want to leave is leave a long little tail. Oh shoot, what happened? Oh, my battery, of course. Hold on. I got this. So you want to leave a long tail on that end, probably like, let me see, get my ruler. The long end part will be about 6 inches. 6-7 inches. That's going to be, because you're going to use that to tie on to other stuff. Let me plug my phone in. Right, I gotta redo my phone. Shoot. Okay. All right, so again, this is gonna be 6 inches, 6-7 inches, give or take. And you're gonna leave that down here at the bottom, just kind of hanging out. So you're gonna take your ball and put your thumb on your bottom of your loom, and you're gonna go underneath this first one. This is gonna be kind of hard because you don't have it tied down, but you're gonna wrap it like this. So it's coming from your end. You're gonna go under like that. Does everybody see that? Okay, so the next part is you're gonna go all the way under your whole loom. And it's gonna move around. It's gonna have to use your octopus arms. And you're gonna go all the way under. What I'm doing is what's gonna happen to you. So once you get the first couple, then it's gonna stay. So if you have an extra helper around, have them hold that stick for you. If there's someone around you, it's always good to have help. Okay, so here I am. I brought it all the way under. I wrapped under. I went over and came all the way back under my loom. See, it's under. Oops. Has everyone got that? Do I need to go back? Good, good.
I'm good.
All right, so you're gonna come back, bringing it over here. See where this is? All right, so here we are. These are back together. For this first one, you're gonna tie it to itself like that. So just do a regular knot. And you're gonna tie it kind of tight. And the tension on this is kind of, you definitely, can you, Violet, can you turn off your sound for a second?
Yes, sorry.
That's all right. So you want to tie it, when you do it, you want your tension to be pretty good. You don't want it to be like this. You want it to be tighter, but you don't want to make it tight enough that you're going to break your string. So there's like an in-between of balance. See how I don't know if you can see this, but I'm like, it makes like a drumming sound. So that's kind of what you want there. And then I'm gonna just tie it right now, like a double knot down here on the wood. There. The first one's done. If you can, if it starts to get loose, try to retie it, but you want it to be pretty. You want it super tight, 'cause again, you don't want to break your warp. Right, so my knots are down over here. And the next thing you're gonna go back again, and you're just gonna keep repeating that, and then we'll do the add-on color. So now I'm going back across. I'm going under the tied stick. And then under, back under, and then I'm going over my whole entire loom. And pull it all the way under the loom. And don't make the mistake of going inside. You're not tying anything on the inside, because then you'll have a piece that you can't move it around the loom. Okay. And again, as you add these, the tension's gonna get, see how that's kind of moving around? Okay, see them. Has everyone got that? See how they're getting tied onto this stick, and it's above. This is above. So you're going to get down to this end, and you're going to tie it to that, that loose part that you had again. Okay. So now you're going to see this little tail. You're going to make sure it's tight. Touch this right here. Make sure it's tight. Again, it's all about the tension. And you're going to tie it to this one right here. But before you do that, this is kind of a tricky part, is you're going to go with this in between this. And this is what's going to help hold the, while you tie, so it doesn't loosen. So I went in between, and I'm, see, and that's going to hold it while you can tie it, so it doesn't, once you got your tight, then you're going to tie this end to right here. See, look, these are all good. Has everyone got that? Give me the high sun when everyone's ready to go to the next color. All right. Okay, Killer's ready. Mary's ready. Father, are you ready? Give me the thumbs up. All right, so we're gonna go to the next color. I think everyone's pretty good. Okay, so the next color is 3 red. Remember this thing? 3 red. 3 red. So we got a whole new color. So what I do is you can tie it onto this one, this tail. That's why it's good to have a long tail. Is you just tie this to this one. So I just do like a regular knot. But one thing about it, you got to make sure it's all the way down to the wood. And you don't want to tie anything on the, you know, to the wood. You're just floating, because you're going to be floating this whole piece around it. So once you get that down to the base, make sure it's down to the base of this right here. And leave a big tail. I didn't leave a big tail on this one, but leave just as long a tail as you did on the first. So a little bit longer. So I'm gonna take this out. I'm gonna leave a longer tail because you're gonna be using all these little tail ends to tie on to each other. That makes sense. So once you get this next one, some people like to cut their threads as they're going down, but I just leave them all connected and just intertwined it. So once you add a warp string, you just leave it and don't cut them until you're completely finished warping. And then that way, yeah. All right, so I'm making this a little bit a bigger tail on this. My arm's being cheap. Okay, all right, so I took this completely out, so I'll show it to you again. Again, I'm doing a longer tail than I did. See, this is about 3 inches, 4 inches. And then I'm tying it to the original knot that's at the bottom. Once you get the first one down, make sure it's all the way to the base. Okay, get your first knot. Because if you put it too far up, it's going to slide. So actually, let me have you tack it down. Sorry. So after you do the first knot or the second knot, you can still do it. There's no wrong or right. You're going to go in between like you did with the other one. This red right here. Just so it's underneath that warp, the first warp, the second warp that you just did. Okay. So there, and there's the tail. So you can leave the white tail alone and you're going to move on to the red tail to tie on stuff. So here you're ready to go warp. So you're going to take your red and you're going to go all the way down again. All the way down. And you're going to go under, over the other side, under your stick again, and then all the way under the entire loom. All the way under the entire loom. Make sure when you come to this end, you go under the loom. Don't go over because then you won't be able to, again, move your piece. And then you're going to pull the tension on this. Don't worry about the alignment of the strings. We'll redo that later. You just want to make sure it's tacked on that bar. I mean the tie stick. So again, as you're coming up here, before you do your tie, you kind of pulled it tight a little bit. You're going to take this one and you're going to go between these two right here. the last white and your first red, and then tie it right here. Oops. Like that. See how it's all like down there? Oops. So right there. Pull it. And then you're going to tie that one. Okay. So what that one that you go, the reason why you do that, it helps hold that tension that you pulled so it doesn't get, because you want them all to be pretty same tension as you're doing this. And if this is really too close up here, bring it down. It's okay, because this thing's going to move back and forth as you're weaving. It's going to always be moving back and forth. Just as you move it around, you're going to move it up, etc. So it's okay if it's down closer. It doesn't have to be way up on top. I know you have longer loom than one I'm working with right now. Is everyone doing good? Did you get your second string, your red string in?
I think I'm going to retry and watch and write the directions. Mine's pretty loose, and I think I need a table. It's too challenging trying to do it off the laptop keyboard here and in my lap. So
Yeah,
but I got the idea down.
You need a table to do this because
Right. Yeah.
yeah, it's a lot better with a table. How about everybody else? Did you get it? Got it? Added on the second color. So basically after this, adding on the rest of colors is the same deal. We just have to go through the count that I set up. And again, when I get to my green, it's going to be black for you all. Okay. Since you all didn't get the green.
Can I clarify, when we go up, we go under that dowel. I don't remember the name, what it's called.
Yeah, the type.
Over around once, just wrap one yarn across, then up across the loom, the top, down underneath, come up the bottom, and then tie off.
Right. So it's
Okay.
around the whole loom. You never tie anything inside. It's all around, because when you're weaving, you're going to be pulling your warp around the whole thing, you know, around the top and the bottom. As you weave, it's going to come, you'll get a lot, and then you have to pull it down.
And our dowel we use, that's the skinniest one or the middlest one? I forgot.
It's the middle, the medium.
Middle, okay. All right, I got the right one.
How about everybody else? How you doing, Blossom? I haven't heard from you.
I'm just taking notes and wrapping my yarn since I don't have the loom yet. So I'm just doing
Yeah,
that
that's
part.
fine.
first.
Shoot, I'm sorry. Again, text me or message me if you need. I'm around between this next week. Yeah, I was thinking you were doing it. I don't know why I was thinking. I knew you didn't have your loom. So sorry. Some people have
Yeah,
loom.
I'm still
Sorry.
I'm still a little behind, so that's why I'm just wrapping all this yarn. But I'm happy to take notes and then rewatch again.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna keep going if everyone's good that has a loom and all the supplies. It's a challenge. For those of you that are on the res that have PO boxes, it's a bit challenged to get supplies. And we didn't realize it till the last minute, and Brian did his best to get it out to you. Thank you, Brian, if you're listening, if you're there.
You're welcome.
But good thing this is a two-part series, because we got time to get it. Keep going. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. For those of you watching. Okay, so again, it's just a repetitive process. So now I'm gonna go back again to under, and I've done this wrong too myself, so don't feel like, oh God, I did it wrong. There's no wrong, you just have to correct it. So I went under, came over, and I'm going around the whole loom right now, all the way under. And you can put your hand in between to do this, but remember when you get down to this bottom that you go under, do not go over. And again, this is still hanging out. I'm not cutting this off. Some people like to cut it because they don't want it all in the way, but I like to just keep it there. There's a thing that they tell you, oh wait, before I tell you that story. Okay, so you're gonna get your tension, pull it a little bit. And what do? You're gonna go in between these, the two reds that you have established, and you're gonna pull that, because that's what's gonna hold your tension. You test your tension with your hand like this. And that's what's gonna hold that while you're able to tie it off. Okay. It gives you kind of a little bit of a crutch. But something my mom and my grandma, they always said, you never cut. You never cut. You don't cut your threads, you don't cut anything, you know, because it cuts up the piece, it cuts up your mind, and all these things. There's all these things in Navajo way, they always, you know, a lot of it is a lot of it's don't. But it's for a reason. Okay, so now we're going back to our paper, right? So I've done 2, now I do 1 more, and then we're moving on to what you guys will be using, black, but I will be using green. So not to confuse you, but yes, I just did. So I'm gonna go back to this.
Excuse me, it's Mary again. I
Oh.
see where my mistake, Wyatt, messed up earlier is I went through, when you went through the 2 reds there, I went not just on the top, I went through the top yarn threads. I don't know what to call them. Both of them, I went on the top and the bottom and come around the bottom of the loom and then tied it off, and you just do the top ones.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's okay. It happens. You just take it back and, you know, just breathe, stretch, breathe. It's all about breathing. You just gotta breathe through it. If you feel like you're getting frustrated, you don't want to bring that to your weaving piece. You just want to take a breath, breathe, relax. I know, I do that too, you know. So you just got to be easy on yourself. There's so much craziness going on. You got to give yourself a break, you know. And this is a really good meditative thing to do as well. I always think of weaving as like my own personal art therapy. You know, sometimes I just need to chill out and I just need to weave. And sometimes if I try to push it, you can see where it's all bumpy or it gets loose, or, you know, it's just you communicating with yourself basically. So as I was growing up, like I went back and looked at a loom that I did like 10 years ago, and I realized I did the heddles wrong. Everything was like wrong on it. And here's me 10 years later, refixing a piece that I put aside because I was frustrated with it. And 10 years later, I was able to go back and pick it up and go, wow, what was I thinking? So, you know, those things happen. It's okay. You know, it's all a part of the process. It's all a part of you knowing yourself and what you're doing with your hand-eye connection. And these are new ways of using your hand. You know, you're training your hands and your eyes, you know, to do this. And so it's a whole new process. It's all good. All right. And with the therapy, go back to okay, so again, you're gonna go and this is the 3rd one you're going. So again, I'm going under the tie stick like this. And then you can always put your thumb on it to hold it in place if it's moving around. And then you go under and then you go over. It's a lot of under overs here. So make sure you go all the way under the entire loom. And you come back. And before you tie this off, what do? You go between these two, the one you just established and the one before, because then that's going to help you get your tension right. And you're going to go like this. I don't know if you can see that, but it's me kind of pushing down, making sure they're all at the same tension. So if it feels too tight, you kind of push on it. If it's too loose, you tighten it up a little bit on this end, and then you tie it off to this tail. And again, I'm using the red tail of this. And then do a double knot. And if your warps get loose later on, you can fix them, but it's better for you to try to get them all the same right away at the beginning. It's like taking a photo, or you want a first picture, you want to get it right first. You don't want to spend all this time going back and correcting it. Okay. Okay, now we're at a point where we're going to go on to the black. And right here it says 4 black, right? Which is my green. So I'm going to do green, but this is black for you all right now. Okay. So and you're going to add on just like you did the red to the white. So this is black for today. Green is the new black. I had to throw that in there. Sorry. Blossom's the only one laughs. I love it. Okay, so and you leave. She's a wordy, folks. Okay, so about 3 inches, 4 inches of tail. And you're gonna leave that over here. And again, you can tie this to the red. So you can tie this to the red tail and go down like that. You do 1 tie, like that, 1 knot. And then before you start doing that, you can see this right here. I'm gonna go under this green and tie it 1 more time. That way it doesn't slide up, the knot slide up while I'm warping. So now we're tying it. And this is your black. Green is the new black. And you're tying your black to your red. Okay. There. And now you're ready with your black, my green, your black, sorry. And you're going to do the same process again. And leaving these all still tied on, these other ones, just put them off to the side. You can go under, over, all the way over the entire loom. Like this. Again, come under the loom. Back to this end. Like that. And where are you going to tie it? You're going to move on to your own green tail. So just push the red one out of the way. And you're going to tie this. Oh, and before, what are you going to do before you tie it? You're going to go between these. Between this, your first black one, and your last red one. And you're going to tie that to that tail. So again, this is where your tension comes in. You're going to test it. Make sure it's all even. Too tight, let loose. More or less, more tight is good because then it pans out. And then now down here, I'm tying it to the ends. Then I'm gonna double tie it. 1 more time. Okay, now you got your black end, which is my green. And now we've got, according to this sheet, we're gonna go and do 4 of these. So you got 1. Is everybody doing good? They got it? Give me a high sign. You with your virtual wrapping full. How about you, Violet? How's it going?
Yeah, I got it.
You got it? Okay, cool. Is this too confusing? Is everyone get it except for the ones that don't have the loom? Sorry, or the material. What are you eating, Santana? All right, going on. All right, so you're gonna do 4 of this. And so basically, let me get to, just keep going. We're gonna do 4 of these. Go all the way around. And remember, and if you feel like you're not, put your hand in between here, and that's, you'll know if you messed up or anything, because it has to be open on the inside. So that's how you'll know if you didn't wrap it right, if you wrapped on the in between. So you're gonna go all the way around over again. Bring it back to start from underneath the loom. And what are you gonna do again? You're gonna go in between your first 2 black, my green, like this. And pull it with a tension. Touch it, test it out. This part, and then you're gonna tie 2 knots, 1, 2, and see I have a big long tail on this one. All right, so then you just keep going in that same fashion. So again, it's all repetitive weavings, totally repetitive, 24/7. It's like that's what makes it, I guess, meditative or therapeutic. It's a repetitive thing. So you're doing the same again. Again, breathe. And here we are again to tie. So what am I doing? I'm going between the one I just did and the last one. Again, pulling the tension on that, checking the tension. And tying this off. And those of you that are going to be warping later, 2 knots, make sure you take your time, set a lot time to do this, because if you're in the middle of like cooking dinner, picking up somebody or whatever, you should really try to finish your warp all at one day and not come back to it, because it's a total process. So those of you that are finishing, doing it later, set aside yourself some time to really finish this all at once, because you don't want to just do halfway and then stop and go back to it. You really want to try to finish it all in one shot. What's our time like, Brian? Speaking of,
how much longer do you want to go?
well, we're about halfway with warping, but I think everybody's kind of got the idea.
Okay, well, it's up to you.
What time is it now?
It's 1:23 here in South Dakota.
So does that mean, are you Mountain Standard?
Yeah.
Okay, let's get through the back and forth ones, since everyone seems to have the other one. So we can go the back and the next colors, because the back and forth is the intertwine one is a little bit tricky, and then we'll wrap for the day. Is that okay? Is everyone good with that? I know, Mary, you have to go, but can we still keep recording?
That's okay. That was the question. If I got maybe 5 minutes, and I was going to ask you if it was the same process of intertwining. I do a white, red, white, red, white, red, white, red.
Yeah, you're just
do that
forth.
for that pattern, then repeat then to the end where
Yeah,
we do.
exactly the same all the way through. And then the very
So is it, I'm
Sorry.
sorry, the intertwine, since we're repeating the pattern on each side, I would do that twice, because when we get to the right side, we're going the back way, 3 red, 4 black, 3 red. Is
Yeah.
that correct?
Yeah,
Okay, then
yeah.
I got it.
Yeah, so the intertwine, I'm gonna go to the intertwine today. the back and forth and then have you guys go off and do it on your own. Is that cool? Everybody, do you think you've got it enough?
Fine with me. I gotta leave for the memorial. Thank you very much. And I will finish this off before the next
Okay.
class.
Okay, doke. Well, actually, if you can work on it before the next class so we can keep moving. Because I
I'll
want
have it finished.
yeah, I want everyone to try it. I mean, I hate to be like a crazy teacher, but get it done. But yeah, if you can, everybody try to have it warped completely by next time. That way we can move faster and get you weaving. Because we still have to do the sheds, you know, the stick shed and the Heddle Shed, which is going to take a bit of time. So next week we'll do that. I had a feeling it would go that way. When I taught this for the herd, it was a month that we did these classes, and I had 2 times a week or something. But we Blossom, are you gonna say something? I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna finish up this tree. So I'm going up.
Oh, I'm good. Sorry, I was bothering something. But I didn't know it was on.
We can hear your whole family, eh? I can hear your little nephew. Just kidding. I don't know if he's with you, but he's so cute. All right. So again, I'm finishing up what would be your black, and this is my green. Again, I came around all the way around the bottom. I'm coming in between the one I just did and the last one, and I'm tying it off. Make sure you do the tension like that. And you're going to tie it off. Okay, so here we are. We've done that color. Now we're going to go back to the red, which is still hanging out over here. So how you're going to do this is you just kind of bring it through. And since this one's already tied up over here, right? What I do is go ahead and tie this to the last tail. So tie this red that's just hanging out to the last tail. Do one knot and then do another one. And then you're gonna go like this under that green and tie one more so it doesn't slide around. And then you're gonna start the red warp. And you're going to do 3 of those red. Okay. So you're ending the black. You guys is black, mine is green. Right. So you're ending this. And you're adding on the next color. So this is going to go hang out over here. All right. So now we're on to the red. And now we're just doing the same process again. So we're going to go under, over the other side. Come back around, go all the way over the whole entire loom, like that. And come back, here you are. And then what do you do first? Before you tie it off? And now you don't have a red tail. You're gonna just go with the green tail that's left over here. So that's this one. So you're gonna first go in between the new red and the black. The black. And you're gonna tie it off to the black tail, like that. The black, my green. And make sure again, tension. Double tie it. And you're doing 3 of these. Okay, so you're gonna notice right now, this is like way over here and they're like that. So what you can do is start scooting these together over here. So just you go to the top of the loom and you're just kind of squishing these up together a little bit. So you can make room for the rest of it. And you guys got super smooth looms, brand new looms. So you're gonna love that because mine is all not even sanded. So funny. I was like, man, they got good looms. I want one. Okay, so see how those are starting to line up right here? Right here. All right. So again, we're gonna keep going, and we have, I did one, 3 red. There's 3, one of the 3 of the red, and we're gonna go keep going. This one's ready to go. This is already tied on. Right, going under, over, all the way under the whole entire loom. Bring it back around, a little bit. Go between the one you just established and the last red. Find the black tail. Do your tension. Do your tension. And then pull a little bit tighter. Tie it off to this green long tail that black long tail you left. And then you're going to go do another red. So basically it's a repetitive, like I said, process. And just be patient with yourself. Again, feeling stressed out, take a mini break. Okay, we're back here again. I'm going to go in between here, one you just did, and tie it off to the green tail. Up to the tension. And there's the next thing we're going to learn is strumming it like a guitar. That's how you also know, not only just touching it, but you hear it. You hear that tension. It sounds equal, like a guitar. And then you tie this. And you tie this. Okay, so now you just finished the last 3 reds, right? So now you're going back to the white. So you're going to bring that white ball all the way over here. Bring it from over here. And wants to unwind. Okay, so you're going to, it's all the way over here. Way over here. So all of these are going to end up coming together anyways when you weave. All these strings are going to be squished together. So it's okay to be pulling it through like this. And you're going to bring that white all the way across. And again, you're going to tie it off with this red. So you're going to let go of the, actually I'll leave that one. You can tie it off to the green, sorry, I didn't mean to confuse you. So you can tie this one off to the green right here. Because now you're going to go back and forth, white and red, both, all of us. So here's that black tail that you guys are going to have. Mine's green. And I'm tying it like this. And it looks like it's going to be stingy, but it's okay. Tie that a couple times. Because when you bring all of your warps together, they're going to be right up next to each other. And so this one wants to come across, and that's why you have this stick here. It keeps all of them in order. That's why the wrap stick is so important. Because now since I was pulling this over here, this top one right here is like, hey, I want to go over there. So you just leave it like that. Okay, so now we're going to start the back and forth of 2 colors. So right here, we're in the middle. We're going to the 5 white, 5 red. So always start with this, the white, and that's how you're going to count them, okay? So again, we're going to start with this. So do you see what I just did? I went, this one's over here. And then I just went, all right. And put this right here. So because you're going to go back and forth, so there's no retying. Again, you're going to go, since this is a new one, you're going to go in between here. Oops. So that's why you don't want the ball too big. And then go ahead and tie this off. And you can actually tie this off to the red if you can do it. If you don't want, you can tie it back to the black string, but you can always tie it to this red because this is the one that's going to take you out. All right, so now we're doing that. We can let go of this tie and just tie it to itself. All right, so we're ready for the white. We're gonna go down the way, under. Oh man, it's the ice cream man. I could sure use an ice cream. All right. Wow, the ice cream man hasn't been in our neighborhood for a long time. Okay, so under, over again. So here we are, we're in our double, we're going for the middle double part. Like that. Make sure this is the tension again. Touch that, it's coming under. And what are you gonna do? Remember, you go like this. Pull that up. And it all comes back to this like line right here. Your tie off line. Got all these strings going on here. So you can either, if you have a long enough black string right here, you can keep using this tail, which is kind of fun because then it's harder with the red. Or if you want, you can tie it to the red. Either one is fine. Either one is good. Whichever one is at the base that you feel is long enough, like see how this one is long enough that it can tie that grain. But here on out, we're not going to have very much tails because we're going to keep them all connected. So there is your first white. So now you're going to go back to the red. All right. So now you're going to go like this. It's kind of like counterclockwise, I guess. Yeah. And you're going to go under this right here. Pull that. You can tie it to the white. Like that. See how that's, I'm gonna do two of those. This is the new red. I'm double tying it just so it just doesn't get mixed up in here. That's why I'm double tying it. Okay, now you're going for the red. Under, over, all the way over. Okay, now you're back over here. And you know what to do now, right? You're gonna go in here, under this red, between the red and white. You're gonna pull that tension. That. Either tie it to the tail or the red. We'll keep tying it to this tail. 2 times. And then going back to the white. Because remember, you're going back and forth right. Switch that over there. You're going to go the first one under here. And you're going to tie it back to the red. The red you're going to tie it onto. I know it seems kind of crazy to do that, but it's just to make sure that everything is tied down and doesn't unwind on you while you're weaving. Again, this is how we do it. Some other weavers will do it a different way, and they, you know, some people will go, "Oh, that's wrong." No, I don't see wrong in creation. When you create stuff, you just do it how you were taught. So, okay, so this again, we're going back to the white. So we have 5 of these that we need to do. And I didn't do it from the inside like I taught you guys. I wound this backwards, so that's why mine's unwinding like that. So under, over, under, okay. So again, you come back over here, repetitive deal, you're under, you're gonna pick up this from the underside. And get your tension down. See how I'm cranking it like this? That kind of does a good tension crank thing. And again, I'm tying this to my, would be your black, but it's my green because it's just hanging out here. It's easier to tie. But when you do the first one around, you should do it to your white or red, you know, the red and white tie. Okay. So again, counterclockwise. First one through, under, and I'm tying this to this white, because this is the one that, you know, I'm using. I'm gonna do double tie. Before I had a tie stick and it just confused stuff for people. So I'm just trying to make it easier. Okay, so now we're going back to the red. And the best way to keep account of all of this is to just count the whites. You need 5 whites. So when you know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because the reds get kind of mixed up. So just keep yourself in check with the whites. So I've got 2 whites, I'm doing 4 reds, but I usually just count the whites, you know, it's just easier to count it off. Okay, again, we're doing the same thing over. Come in here, pull this, tie it off to the tie of the end. Okay. And now we're going to go on to the white. Again, come under here, tie this to the red. So we're doing the 3rd white right now is next. Okay, so under there. Now I'm going under here. Under there, all the way under the balloon. Pull the tension. Always remember to do that. Take the time out to do your tension because you want it to all be equal. Okay. Come through. What do you do first thing? You under here. So it's hard if you have a bigger ball of yarn. Oh, I'm tying this to the end of that tail. So I'm still carrying on with this tail because it's still usable since it's long. Now you're going back to the red. How's everybody doing? Does everyone get it? Hello? Josie. How's everybody?
I'm good.
I got it.
You guys got it? Violet?
I got it.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay, so we lost Mary, but we still, I think, and then hey, Brian, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, so what's the time right now? I guess we underestimated.
43 Mountain Time.
Okay, so to the ending of this, since I don't know if we'll get through, do I have time to go through this? Or should I just stop and talk about the ending, Brian?
That's up to your time. I'm here. I'm
What do you
here
guys
until. Yeah, I'm here. So whatever is up to you.
Yeah, this is going to take another half an hour probably to finish. So basically it's the same process over and over, everybody. When you get to the end, see, like this is the last one. See, like this is the last white we just did, okay? We're down here. This is the last white. What I would like you to do is leave it like long tails, tie it off the way you would do, like, you know, like as if you're going to go on right here. But again, we're done with, we'll be done with the whole thing when you get there. But I want you to like collectively get them long like this, because you could use these for some later on. So go like maybe 4 inches of all of these. And then you can cut it, okay? Technically, when you finish with the black right here, you can cut it off and have a tail to tie on to the rest of them. So you know how you're going back and forth here, and then we're going back to this black, which is my green. When you finish doing your 4 black, which is right here, you can technically, because you're done with that color, you can cut it off and use it to tie. So you can cut this one at 4 inches, because you're not going to use it anymore. So you 4 inches, and you can use that one to tie on for the next red and white. Does that make sense, everybody? And then when you get to the very end of your white, it's all been tied down. So you just tie it down like the way it is right now, because it's all tied. And then you just finish that last white, you tie it to there, and then you can cut them all off. Okay? Do I hear a yes? Okay, Kayla's yes. Violet, yes?
So that the last white, you want it tied to the board?
No, nothing ties to the board. The last
Okay.
one is just tied to itself. See how this
Okay.
white is right here? See how this
Yeah.
white is tied to this last one? It's gonna be 2 whites, right? Like on the beginning right here.
Yeah,
You tie it to itself like it is right now. And then after it's tied to on there, the last one, you're gonna go like 4 inches and then cut the thing.
okay, I got it.
Everyone,
right.
yeah. All right. So I'm gonna go up camera and finish this and then have it done for us to start. And when we come back next week, please have all of the, if any of you those that don't have your loom and or your supplies, just call me or text me and I can walk you through it if you get stuck. But this will be, hey, Brian, will this be available as soon as possible?
This video will be available by Tuesday.
Okay. So if you guys could try to finish, be ready to go with all of this warp so we can go to the next step, which is the Heddles on next Saturday. Okay. Cool. Just in time. My battery's dying on my computer. All right, everybody. Let me go back to the face Shawna face. I'm such a dork. Okay, everybody. I hope you got it and you feel more. Let me stop this for a minute before we end. I don't want to just like run off. I'm trying to turn this off so I can move it. Don't be frustrated in any way or form. It's all a process, like I said, and I'm here to help you. It's not just like I'm gone into the abyss, but I will be available to help assist anybody on the fly if you need my help during the week. For those of you that don't have their looms and you're just now, getting it together because of the post office, we're gonna blame that. We're gonna blame FedEx. We're gonna blame FedEx. That's what's up. Okay, let me go back to pin. Okay. See, I'm sick. So, yay! Show me your stuff before you go. I'm gonna take a screenshot really quick. Show me your looms. Everybody show me your, oh wait. Show me what you got. Okay, show me your stuff. Screenshot, smile. Smile, Brian. Oh, yay, she's got her. All right. You got your wound, I know it's a different way of winding the ball, but it works. It helps. So it keeps you together. So if you have any questions, just text me, message me. I put my email in the chat earlier, nativezine@gmail. Unless you know me, you can message me too. So cool. All right, Violet, since you're next time you get to start, and we're gonna get an intro of you. Cool. Because we did the intros. All right, cool, Brian.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, Shawna. We really appreciate your time and expertise. And thanks to everybody for joining. And we look forward to seeing you next week. And I will have the video uploaded on First People's Fund's YouTube channel by Tuesday at the very latest. I'll send you all reminders to email reminders. And well, I'll just share the link with you through email.
So stretch out. Everyone's like, stretch your body. Make sure you stretch before, because it is a lot of, you can feel that tension while you're doing it. So, but you can do it. You can do it. I believe in you. My mom says hi, Kayla. All right. So next time, 11 o'clock sharp, because we're going to jump right in and do the heddles. Okay, because I really want to get you guys to start weaving by next time. I was hoping we would get everything set up today, but it just takes a while. You know, warping is a process, and you want to get it right. You definitely want to get it right. And remember, those of you that are still getting them, have to warp, you don't use your big dowel, you use the medium dowel for the wrap stick. Okay, cool. All right, yay. All right, we all wait, I didn't even look in the chat. Got it. Oh, sound of the ancestors. Oh, you're so funny. I just saw all your stuff, Blossom. You're hilarious. All right. Yay. Woohoo. Weavers in training. Spider women in training. Okay, Brian, did you want to say anything?
Oh, no, that's it. Just thank you. Thank you, everybody, for joining.
All right.
And thank you for your patience.
See you next week. Bye.
Bye.